Hello everyone and welcome back to WolfQuest The Lost Tales, and we are here with Lepus and his mate Swift, who have just arrived in Slough Creek and who are about to set out and attempt to attempt to start out on their very interesting, very different sort of quest here. Now, Lepus's challenge is that he can only hunt 5 elk over the course of the playthrough, or not over the course of the playthrough, but over the course of the Slough Creek portion, that is. And so he can only bring down 5 elk to feed his puppies for the journey or for even at the den. Other than that, he has to rely on the hares in the game to be able to feed his pups. So, this could be a little bit interesting. This is very, very different than anything we've really done before. There's a hare right here. Oh, and I forget that they're white in the winter time here. So we'll actually, we'll go ahead and start eating from this one because we're a little bit hungry. But, so it's good to know that right here seems to be an area where the hares spawn, because that'll help us out when it comes to the journey here. We can hunt down some of these hares to be able to help feed our pups. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do the hunting on camera here, so we can kind of discuss why I'm placing them strategically where I want to place them. And we'll kind of talk about that a little bit as we're doing it. So we still can winter hunt, it just won't be the normal amount that we normally do. Thankfully, we are playing on pretty easy, so we hopefully won't have to hunt as much, at least overall, I mean. But, we still have to do some. So we're going to choose the Bison Peak Cutoff Den here. And some of you guys were asking about this den recently, actually. Why is it the Bison Peak Cutoff Den when there's not actually any bison? Well, as best as I understand it, there are bison in this area of the park in the real world because, of course, this is based off of Yellowstone and corresponds to actual locations. But with that in mind, there aren't any bison in WolfQuest at the moment, and so there's not going to be any in-game, even though there could be some here in real life. So that's probably where the name comes from. Let's let our stamina regen a little bit. And of course, we are trying out a new experimental sort of scavenger hunt feature that we haven't been doing before. You can find more details about that in the previous episode of the playthrough. And we're gonna just try it out this month and see how it goes and see what you guys think of it. So don't forget to keep your eyes peeled for something to potentially show up in this episode as well. Don't forget to keep looking for that because you never know when it might pop up. So I'm pretty sure there were somewhere around here hares. I thought there were at least. But it might just be that they're not triggering all the time. They might be around here, but they might not actually show up every time. So we kind of just want to find out where they're at, though, and then we'll go claim the den. I remember, yeah, there's a den nearby. I remember killing a hare somewhere around here in a previous playthrough, if I'm not mistaken. I was pretty sure that there was... I was pretty sure there was a hare somewhere around here. Let's claim the den, and I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Hopefully, let's go ahead, we'll make this our den, and then we're gonna go, well, first of all, we're gonna hunt, and then we'll mark the territory. So, normally I will skip through this with a montage, but I'm actually not gonna do that this time, because I want to be able to kind of experiment and see where we want to bring the elk down and kind of talk you through that process. I'm just looking again one more time, but I'll kind of talk you through that process as we hunt down these elk, and we'll see. We'll see where we end up bringing them down. I know I want to make sure we have elk on the journey, so we've really got to be careful of that. We really have to be careful not to lose a carcass in Druid territory this time. That has happened several times, and it would not be good if that did happen again. That would be a very bad situation for this when we only get to hunt down 5 elk. So let's go this way. We've got to kind of steer the elk this way. And now this is something that I expect will quickly become a lost art in WolfQuest 3. The hunting system seems to be a little bit different, so maybe there will be some element to being able to herd them, but I don't expect it will be as important as it is in this game, because right now food is not available at all parts of the journey, and there's nothing we can do about that. There's certain elk hunting grounds, and if we don't do something to make sure we have food for the areas that aren't near them, then we run out of food and pups start to die. So there's not a lot we can do about that, but in WolfQuest 3 with the fact that the animals are now going to be persistent and they're going to move around, and it's not going to be just something where they spawn in a certain area. They're actually going to be moving around. It'll be a little bit different because we probably could honestly be able to follow a herd. Now, I don't know how the whole rendezvous mission will work. We have absolutely no information about that, and right now the team is focused primarily on developing the core systems for Amethyst Mountain. They haven't even really started to work too much with Slough Creek. We've seen the new wolf pup models, but they're still getting the core systems in place, which is why they're choosing to release Amethyst Mountain first, as opposed to doing it all at the same time, so that we have a chance to kind of play around with the new systems, but we don't have to wait as long to do it, and then Slough Creek will be coming a little bit later. And with that in mind, we really have no idea how all of this is going to work, how the missions will be changing or staying the same. We don't really know how that's all going to work, and until we do, it's hard to say what will or won't be possible, but I'm hoping the winter hunts will end up becoming obsolete, because if that's the case, then it'll completely change the style of the playthrough here, which would be a really good thing, because the winter hunts are definitely one of the less realistic parts of the game. Wolves do not mass hunt like this, and a carcass would probably not last through the winter, in all honesty. Even if it was able to be preserved by the colder temperatures, it's pretty likely that we would not, that other scavengers would get to it, basically. So it's very unlikely that carcass would still be around here if we hunted it in the winter. The coyotes would get it, the bears would get it, something else would find it and take advantage of it. We wouldn't be able to leave it here. So the winter hunts are definitely one of the less realistic portions of WolfQuest, and I'm hoping that the new system will actually completely eliminate the need to winter hunt. I'm hoping that it'll mean that it'll be easier to kind of have a more organic fashion of hunting when you have your pups. So I'm hoping the journey may even enable us to follow along with the herds, or to have the chance of actually finding food along the way. I imagine with the fact that they're making the hunting system itself more intense, that in itself will come with a lot of rebalancing of the elk. And so hunting will probably not, like right now the carcasses don't last all that long. I imagine that they may have to tweak how long the carcasses last, or how long it takes for the pups to get hungry. And so with that in mind, I think we're probably going to see a better outcome with the rendezvous site mission and the food along the way when we get to that point. Now, again, all of this is pure speculation. We really don't know anything about it yet. We don't know how this mission is going to work. But this is just what I would imagine with the way they're changing things. These are going to be things they're going to have to deal with. And I imagine they'll find a way to improve the experience, because right now, this is definitely one of the clunkier portions of the game. And again, it's totally understandable, because when this game was designed, it was designed for 2007 computers. They couldn't handle dynamically moving animals. And in fact, there probably would have been a lot harder to even create a system like that in the first place, let alone to have it run well. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where it just didn't work out quite as it wouldn't have worked back then. And even though 2.7 is much updated from that point, and a lot of the stuff was reworked and made smoother, the systems really didn't change. They didn't really change how things worked. They just changed some of what goes on under the hood behind the scenes. So they didn't really tweak too much of the actual systems. They just kind of made them work a little bit better. And so with that in mind, this is not where I wanted to be. Great. This is not what I wanted. No! Oh my goodness, do not do that. Hey, Swift, stop. Swift. Oh, stop. Okay, she's stopping. Good. That's not what we want. We don't want to bring down an elk in the water. We will lose the carcass. So that's definitely not what we want to see. I'm going to let her try and get... She's not actually going to be able to get up. Okay, we're going to have to circle around her here. But yeah, so that's one of the things that I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully changing in WolfQuest 3. I think it will definitely help out this part of the story immensely. And I think they're going to have a lot of chance to rework some of these systems that were not really the greatest, but that were what they were able to do at the time. I think they're going to have a lot of chance to be able to improve those old systems and replace them with something fresh, replace them with something new. And I'm definitely really looking forward to that part of it. So, let's see here. We're going to slow down a little bit. We got to get out of the water for our stamina to come back. And then we have to, we're going to have to hunt down this elk here. No, you're going to keep running. I think we could make it all the way across. The trick is going to be that we really cannot afford to have this carcass land in Druid territory. If this carcass lands in Druid territory, we are done for. So, no, this is not where she's supposed to be going. Okay, no, stop. Get her out of the water. Get her out of the water. Wow, okay, Swift has a really nice howl, I will say that. But we need to not have this elk wind up over here. We need to push her further that way and bring her down much farther to the side, because otherwise she will be in Druid territory. So more like where those plants over there are. Yeah, I think this would be a better place for her. And we can kind of have her a little bit further along. There we go. She should be out of Druid territory. I'm pretty sure Druid territory starts more off to that area. Yeah, we should be good. We should be okay. I'm pretty sure Druid territory is more over here, because this is where we usually have troubles. It's hard to recognize because it changes so much in the wintertime, though, and that's what always throws me off. So if that carcass is not there, we're going to have some problems. Hopefully we don't have issues with that, but I think we'll be okay. So now what we got to do is we got to hunt pretty close to... We got to hunt one more along here for the journey, and then we got to hunt closer to the den. And so we've done 2 of 5 elk so far. We can bring down one more kind of by the riverbank, and then the other 2 will bring down closer to the den. And we'll try to use those as much as possible because it's easier to guarantee we have these carcasses than it is to be able to actually find rabbits, or hares, excuse me. Alright, Swift, I could definitely use a hand here. We gotta take down this elk's health. And, come on. I'm worried, guys. I'm worried here. We're gonna lose ground if we're not careful. Okay, we gotta bring her down right on the riverbank. If we can do that, we'll be good. Okay, that worked. That was insane. So the reason I think that worked here, even though we're completely out of stamina, basically, is because, the elk tend to be slower in the snow, which is something that happens in real life too. So if you look at, you can see it a little bit here even on this wolf model. If you look at Lepus's paws, you can see how big they are. And the size of a wolf's paws and the fact that they actually have a little bit of kind of almost webbing between their toes helps them walk on top of the snow just like a snowshoe. And so with that in mind, it makes it a lot easier for them to hunt down prey like this, because they can walk on top of the snow, whereas the small hooves of an elf, wow, that's not what I meant to say in the slightest. The small hooves of an elk will sink through, and they'll go into the snow, and it'll be deeper, and they'll be kind of wading through it, whereas the wolves can run more on top of it, and that will give them an increase in speed compared to the elk. The elk will not be able to keep up with them, or the elk will not be able to get away from them as easily if they're sinking into the snow. So with that in mind, it's much easier for, oh no, that was not what I wanted. Oh great, I ran too close to the ball. Oh goodness. Great. So they'll tend to sink more into the snow, and that bogs them down, and the wolves will be able to chase them down more easily. We may have to let Swift finish this one off. I'm going to try and bring her down fairly close to the other carcass over there. But otherwise, we're probably going to have to back off because we don't have a lot of health left. Alright. Ouch. Alright, you've got to keep doing damage. She's actually not really attacking Swift. There we go. So let's eat here. And then what I kind of want to do is I do want to see if we can find more hares, because if we can find some hares right off the bat, that would be really good for us. and it would help out a lot if we can have some right by the den. But otherwise, this is it. This is all the elk we can take down. Now, Swift is allowed to go and hunt, as sometimes the mates tend to do. But otherwise, we really can't. We have to rely entirely on the hares to be able to feed our pups. So I am 95% sure that there is or was a bunny bush somewhere around here, as they've been so termed. But yeah, I'm not seeing it. That's the other thing that should make stuff like this easier in WolfQuest 3, is the ability to actually carry pieces of food. So, for example, let's say we found a bunny bush across the map. We'd be able to actually go and carry them back for the pups. But we can't do that now, of course, because this isn't WolfQuest 3 yet. And so that's one thing I'm also looking forward to quite a lot. That's going to give us a big improvement to our ability to manage our food, because it's not going to make it, pardon me, it's going to make it easier for us to be able to bring down food wherever and then move it as need be. And that'll help out in so many ways that it's really going to be very important, I think. And it's going to improve everything quite a lot. So it'll be good to see when that is in the game, how that's all going to work out. I think it'll help quite a bit in many ways. I'm definitely a little bit scared for this challenge. Now, the one thing I do want to be really careful of is we basically got to work as fast as we possibly can. We've got to complete this as quickly as possible, because you can already see there are ravens out there eating the carcasses, and that's not a good thing. We don't want to see that happen. We don't want to lose our carcasses. We need to move it and get going as fast as we can, so that we can not have to worry about the when the carcasses will run out. The more we can use the carcasses, the better. But the idea is that we do have to resort to hunting hares for some of it. So I think we only have to chase off 3 predators on this. And as you can see, Lepus does not have the experience to name his pups yet. And so we'll be doing that in the next episode. We'll just be starting off right now. And maybe what we'll do is we'll take the We'll take the one of the ideas that you guys suggested, and we'll number the pups 1 through 4 when we have the chance. And if we have the chance this episode, and that'll make it easier. Here we go. That'll make it easier once we do. So we have 1 male and 3 females. We're going to be playing on pretty easy. And the first thing I'm actually going to do, so let's finish this mission first. They all have, well, actually, so 3 of them seem to have taken after Lepus, and we have 1 who's taken more after her mother, Swift. So we've got to play with these guys, and we should be able to, if we can get them all to play bow, which we may or may not be able to do. Oh, it didn't even play the animation that time. If we can get them all to play bow, that usually raises it pretty quickly, but that can be kind of difficult to do, so we'll see how much it works. Alright, let's keep going. We've got to get this up fast, and then we're going to have to get food. The good thing is the food doesn't go down too terribly quickly on pretty easy, so we should be mostly alright with that. The other thing that really helps is bringing the pups back to the den, as you guys have pointed out, and so we can try and do that. And that'll give us actually 13 experience. If we see any of them wandering, we can bring them back to the den, and that gives us a lot. So, there we go. Or 10. Or I don't know. Actually, that's the amount of experience, but you can see it gives us more experience than just playing with them does. Hey, no, don't do that. Do not do that. Go back to the den, where it is safe. Alright, we're good. So now we have to defend the den. I'm going to run out to one of the farther carcasses, and we'll run out there real quickly. We'll get our food. We'll come back. There's probably going to be a predator. We will chase off... oh boy, the dramatic music is already playing. So, oh, and there's the elk herd, but we don't want anything to do with them this time, so let's eat from this one. We've got to just hurry and fill up our food. We can use some of the farther carcasses if we can run out there. We are allowed to do that. It's just a matter of actually getting out there and getting back. So, let's see. Let's see if we can chase off any predators already. Is there something here? I hope there is. Oh, there is. It looks like it's a coyote, so that's good. We want to probably mark territory when we get back, and then we'll feed the pups, probably go somewhere else to get more food, and then hopefully another predator will have spawned in by the time we are done there. So it's probably going to be a bit of a long episode. We'll probably see it a little bit longer than our standard length, because I want to make sure that we get this done. So let's make sure we're marking the territory. I do want to make sure we're continuing to progress, so we'll probably try and finish the mission. So that was our first predator, and if we can finish up and get the others chased off as well this time, that would be excellent. So we'll keep this nice and well marked so that we don't have to worry about stranger wolf spawning, because that is not something Lepus wants to have to deal with. I don't think that would be a good thing at all. Let's run around and see if we can find any of the hares. Maybe it wasn't spawning more because we had already spawned one this episode or something. I don't know. Oh, there is... Oh, goodness. Swift, I thought you were a coyote for a moment there. Oh, my goodness. That was a little bit frightening. I was like, why is this coyote coming at me? Oh, wait a minute. Alright, so maybe it's only a spawn point in the spring or something? I remember killing a hare over here at one point, though. That's a thing. I don't... Oh, there's a bear. Oh, there's a bear. Okay, 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 okay. So, we're gonna go here. We're gonna run up to the bear. Alright. Oh, okay, we did not get hit. That's good. So what we've got to do is we got to back off. We got to let the bear try and focus on the pups, and then we can bite him again. We got a second predator chased off, so it looks like Swift helped feed some of the pups, so that's good. We'll give them just a little bit of food. And then what I'm going to try and do is I'm actually going to run out and see if we can hunt from one of the further from one of the further areas. So, or actually, let's not do that just yet, because the pups really aren't that, they haven't been that hungry. So let's go ahead, we'll come down here, and we'll howl, and hopefully we're far enough away that any predator that spawns in will not immediately target the den. That's one of the problems with this game that can make things really difficult, is when a predator spawns and then is immediately right there at the den. That can be a big issue, and that's not something we want to have to deal with. So, let's see. I guess we'll eat from this carcass again. We're going to probably completely use this one up, but we'll still have the other one pretty close, so that'll be good. And if we're this far away, there's a good chance a predator will spawn. And there is a no, there's not a predator. I was going to say, I think I see a coyote, but I did not actually. So the pups are safe inside the den. Oh, great. This is not what I was hoping for. This is not the kind of predator I was hoping for. Yay. Okay, so you're going to have to back off. This is going to do... We're probably going to take a lot of damage in this. Cougars are really hard to deal with. I hope they get some improvements, because as of right now, they're probably what's killed me the most. And I really hate having to, to fight cougars, because they are really difficult to handle. Okay, let's come up here. Run in. Okay, we got one bite. Two. Nope, that was not 2 bites. Bite and bite. There we go. All right. We got the cougar chased off. These guys are still fine on food. Mission complete, grow your pups. So we're going to quickly feed them, and then I'm going to run and get more food before this episode is up. So, alright, we should have enough to name them as well, so we'll just do that next time, and we'll see. Let's go ahead and we'll feed. And I'll do the numbering system next time, but we'll go ahead and then fill up on food out here one more time, come back to the den, and wrap up the episode, because it is about that time again. So, we're making good headway, we're moving fast. At this rate, I think we should easily be able to finish on time. The question is, are we going to finish before our food runs out? Because these ravens are eating it like crazy, and that's not a good thing when you have to keep your pups well fed, especially when we just had to fight a cougar and are now having to restore our own health. So this is a little bit worrying. That was not something I was hoping we'd have to deal with, but I should never have assumed this would be easy, because it never is. So let's go ahead and we'll make our way back to the den, and we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode here for today, because it is about that time again. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Oh great, there's a coyote. I'm going to then outro after the coyote fight. We'll go ahead and chase this guy down, and we should be able to take him out pretty easily. How many bites does it take? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bites. That's pretty terrible. Alright. But we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode here for today because it is about that time again. Also, don't forget, if you did not see Katara this episode, make sure you go back through and watch again so that you can find her and have your chance to win a copy of WolfQuest. So anyway, though, we're going to go ahead and end off this episode here for today. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.